Our next speaker is Toru Fukui from Riken, SPring-8. He received his Doctor of Science in Particle Physics from the Tokyo Metropolitan University. And since 1996, he's worked at SPring-8 and worked on the SACLA control system.
Okay. Thank you for the introduction. My talk is status of the control system for SACLA and SPring-8 accelerator complex. And contents here, overview, a quick overview of SACLA and SPring-8, and design of the control system, status of project, and summary. So this is the bird's view of SACLA and SPring-8, and this yellow line shows the beam transport from SACLA to SPring-8. And some notes, we have an upgrade program for SPring-8, and we call that SPring-8-2. And so energy, beam energy of SPring-8-2 is 6, and this figure is very easy to remember because 8 minus 2 is 6. So you can easily remember. And unit cell, we selected a 5-band ACMAT with a longitudinal gradient band. So this is very common sense to making a low emittance ring. And so emittance goes 20 times smaller than existing SPring-8. So design of the control system, some of the requirement. SACLA must be full energy injectors because dynamic aperture, because such a low emittance ring, dynamic aperture will be very narrow. So we cannot use existing injectors like LENAC and synchrotron. So we use SACLA for SPring-8-2. So, and also that kind of save the money because SACLA already and always running for the beam user experiments for XFER. So injection at the same time is very cost effective. So that means we need to operation of the SACLA into the user experiment. Also injection to the SPring-8 in parallel. But this kind of scheme is a little bit difficult because user experiment of XFER need more than 10 kiloamperes of peak current, and we compress electron bunch. But for injection to SPring-8, we need less than 1 kiloamperes because the CSR destroys that emittance. So we need to bunch by bunch base control the parameters. And because of the Madoka is an older SPring-8 control system, it's running more than 20 years. So we think some of the concept of the Madoka is very good for us. So we choose some of the concept of the Madoka. First, message-oriented communication with SVOC-like human readable syntax, and a relational database for parameters. And distributed control system, that's very common. But so Madoka is very old, more than 20 years. So we need to redesign the framework. And, we won't use many of process in multi-thread because many core CPU is very common. And we selected MQTT as a messaging. I describe later. And open source project. This is an overall view of our control system schematic. And we put this in MQTT broker. So what is MQTT? MQTT is lightweight publishing, subscribe, messaging protocol. And this one is bidirectional. And MQTT use the topics as a message identifier. And this use a slash as a separator. This is very good for us because Madoka is using same separator same as MQTT, so very good, easy to implement. And reliable, because MQTT is designed for IoT, so very reliable communication scheme. And equipment manager in the device controller, we call EM, as we designed only a process to the boot up time. And other processes could kick it from EM by sending a message. Also, EM is multi-thread. And some of the processes need a communication, like a feedback. So we put the shared memory to communication bit in each process. For database, we use Cassandra for online database, like a temporary logging database, and MariaDB for archive and parameters. And this one already shows Tuesday's parallel session. And we set the data aggregation process we call MDAC. And we process the 4 types of MDAC. One is the point data with fixed acquisition interval. Another is a triggered event, point data with a triggered event, like bunch by bunch basis data acquisitions, and one dimensional array for waveform, and 2-dimensional array for like profile monitors pictures. And MDAC has a keep alive function, and every time to report the MDAC to their status to the parameter database, and we can trace back if something happened or trouble. We can use this parameters database. MDAC working like this. So we send a message to create to EM, and the EM created MDAC. And next, we send a message to MDAC to start, and they load the configuration and load the configuration from parameters. Everything using this parameter database, and write the data online. And the next framework is very sensitive. Important one is already shows bunch by bunch basis parameter control, and we put this parameters set like this, and set the master controller to the connected reflective memory of each low-level RF and the kicker magnet to control the short bunch by bunch the parameters. And that parameter of the pattern is consists of 60 row, and this one is corresponding to 1 second, because we are running at the moment it's 60 hertz. So this is another view. The process is in master controller in the 60 row in 1 parameters pattern, and many of them. And we can switch in each second to on-demand style. And for equipment control, we use MTCA.4 for high-speed control, and already shows Tuesday poster sessions. And PC and the PLC for slow control. And we want to reduce the amount of wiring. So we selected ICALEPCS as a remote I/O system. And this one also shows Tuesday's poster session. And so already we started to use ICALEPCS for the kicker magnet control, and also something in insertion device in next March, and someone is ICALEPCS, the full digital controlled magnet power supply. So low level like that. This one is MTCA, and this one, this stuff is linking the ICALEPCS. And the status of the project, we started design this control system from beginning of last year. And we already started to replace the dedicated accelerator for BL1. And this one is BL1. BL1 have own dedicated accelerators in here and separated from SACLA. So also this one is relatively compact. So we start this fast. And control system are already, sorry, this one is not spring in the summer. And the control system is working well since this summer replacement. And we will replace already, this one is BL1 finished. And next is SPring-8 woods. And SACLA is next summer. After finished this component, we start injection from SACLA to SPring-8. And maybe we hope the SPring-8 upgrade in something in around 2020 something. Before summary, in Japan, we have a project in the construction of a new light source. And one good news from Ministry of Education and Science and Technology, they requested the budget to the design and R&D for new light source. Normally, we can get this budget. We continue the constructions. And we will propose this new control system for a new light source. And we hope selected. So summary, we designed the control system for the SACLA and the SPring-8. And we succeeded in the replacement control system. And we will replace everyone. And we hope we will use this control system for SPring-8 upgrade called SPring-8 2. And extra one is this one is the last week. We shows this one is upper side is a BL3, lower side of the BL2, and the different parameters, and switch to the 30 to 30, switch back to back. And we backport the bunch by bunch basis control system to Madoka. And because of the lack of reflective memory, we cannot do on-demand style. But this is working well. And BL2, this one, it's very good beam qualities. So user like protein analysis people, very happy to use BL2. That's it. Thank you.